and the lost productivity and the frustration that people hold. Again, across this region, we could have pulled down, what, almost $3 billion, $2.8 billion under the Obama administration to build high-speed rail. What did our governor say? No, thank you. He said, we don't believe in Obama stimulus. And California sucked it right up, right? They took, let me tell you, there ain't a thing I agree with Donald Trump on, not a thing, right? May hit the second part of my answer, which is if he tries to send me $2.8 billion, I'm gonna take it. And I'm gonna put that to work right here in the state of Florida. We're gonna pull that money right here. We're gonna bring it right here. Because the job of the governor of the state of Florida is to do what is in the best interest of the people of the state. It's in the best interest to bring those resources home. So the way we're gonna recruit your kids back before you retire, and before they recruit you there to be a good grandmother, is we're going to start to address these quality of life issues here in this state, beginning with wages and talent, but then continuing on to include the fact that we're going to make sure we fully fund the Sadowski Act to expand affordable and workforce housing in this state. But y'all gotta send me some help by sending good senators and state representatives that we can work with to win. That's right. You gotta send us some good help. Okay, this is a good one. It's Kerry, I got that part. And I think it's Ramsburger?
Yes.
Is that right? Yes.
Thank you. And you addressed my question in your previous answer, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for that.
Willie got a whole page here. Willie Foster. Willie. Willie, I'm so sorry. I thought this was, I can't, my bad.
You know, we've met on several occasions, and thank you for using my picture in one of your ads. Organizer with the Sojourner Truth Center talking about change, and here you come talking about change. How's not to love that? I love it. But my question is, why do we have to let the polluters off from paying about the pollution they cause? You know, the oil companies have known for a long time that they have been polluting since the 50s or 60s, and yet they are not paying. Shouldn't they be bearing this cost instead of we?
First of all, Ms. Winnie, always good to see you. With your intelligence and your brilliance and your beauty, how could I not use you in an ad? I don't know if we asked for your permission, but anybody who is next to me or around me know that you are susceptible to being used in an ad. But to the question, and it's one that it's a sentiment I agree with wholeheartedly. And I've said it repeatedly, big polluters in this state are going to be held accountable for their actions. Now, my opponent, Mr. Election Year Environmentalist, is going around trying to convince people that he is going to somehow hold environmental polluters accountable, but he has walked away with over 300,000 from the biggest polluting industries in this state. Do you believe that he's going to take that money and then turn around and regulate them? Don't be fooled, right? Don't be fooled at all. That is a trick, and we've seen that before. Rick Scott is doing the same thing, by the way. Election year environmentalist. He's the same one who gutted the Department of Environmental Protection. He's the same one who handed over the keys of environmental regulation to the biggest polluters in this state. They're going to pay their fair share under a Gillum administration. We're going to put the teeth back in our Department of Environmental Protection. But we are also, and I said this before, this issue is very complex. It is not just big agriculture. They're going to do their part, but it's also big development. Development that's happening in parts of this state where some of our local government officials have really handed over the keys to development, considering all development is good growth. It isn't. When you're developing environmentally insensitive lands, when you're adding all kinds of impervious, where you have pollutants that are running off into our water system without regulation. We've got nitrate levels flowing into Lake Okeechobee. And when those releases happen out into our estuaries, that is what's causing this blue-green algae. And we got red tide that's happening at a more frequent pace than we've seen it before. Right? So yes, we've got to hold ag accountable. We got to hold big development accountable. We also have to deal with the amount of impervious that we're adding due to things like transportation. My opponent, when it came to roads, you know, he was asked about what do you think. First of all, he was asked for a transportation plan. He didn't have one. That's number one. Just like he don't have a health care plan for this city. Which is why he's spending all this time calling names. Y'all got me on this, man. Let me get off of We're debating on Sunday. I'm just ready to have the conversation. They are every single day pretending that they're going to do something to address these things. You got to measure people where they were. This man voted against the environment over 136 times. He's got a score 3 out of 100 on his environmental record. Right? How do you get that? I don't even know. I knew some people who messed up in school, didn't even go to class, they got better than 3 out of 100. That's pitiful. But that's what we're going to get. I'm going to forecast for you what you're going to see on Sunday. He's going to call me a socialist. He's going to call me corrupt. He's going to throw his covered up versions of racial epithets. He's going to call me anti-Israel. He's going to do all those things. I'm warning you about this. Just be prepared. I'm prepared. I'm going to hear all of that. But this man has no relationship to the truth. He didn't have it in Congress, and he certainly won't have it as a candidate. All of his advertisements on television have all been said to be false against me, but that won't stop him. He takes his cues from Donald Trump. Donald Trump has no relationship to the truth either. Now, I'm going to do everything that I can to try to keep this conversation at a high level. I'm going to do everything that I can to have a debate that is deserving of the people of Florida. But if I have to go there, I'm going to go there. I want him to know and to be clear, don't let the smooth taste fool you. I graduated high school in Gainesville, but I'm from Miami-Dade. I don't mind showing it. Let me get on. Okay, we got another question here. Get me in trouble in here. Okay. Dr. William Haley from Clearwater. Dr. Haley, are you here? All right. And I'm told based off the sign that we're at our last question, so let me Christian from St. Petersburg. Is it Moriarty? Hey, Christian. Oh, great.
My name is Christian Moriarty. I'm a St. Petersburg College professor. Good.
Awesome.
I wanted to give you a little information for comparison's sake. Is that St. Petersburg College enrollment is 49,000. To compare, USF is 47,000. Now, the budget of St. Petersburg College is 144 million, and the budget of USF is 1.6 billion. That is, we have 2,000 more students, but less than a tenth of the budget. And understandably so, K-12 and university system gets a lot of attention, but the community college system doesn't as much despite the great work that we do. So for every dollar that's invested by the taxpayers into St. Petersburg College, $3.10 gets paid back in return for that investment. So my question to you is, what is your intention, what is your vision for the community college system in the state of Florida?
Thank you. Put just like a professor, right? Made the case very compellingly. I can't thank our community colleges, our college system in this state enough. First of all, we have some of the best colleges in the country at the community college system level. They are exceptional. And I believe it has been for 8 years under Governor Scott, that I think 7 of those years we've seen our community college budgets take a hit. In the state of Florida, something like, I think 70% of the faculty on our colleges, our community colleges, are part-time. I think the going average nationally is something like 40%. 70%. And I was at Miami-Dade Community College. They have set up a food pantry for teachers. A food pantry for teachers on our colleges. We've got a real issue there. Let me tell you about my economic vision for the state of Florida. It is hand in glove by funding our college system here in the state of Florida, our community colleges, particularly because what do? They produce the talent that then walks into these jobs, right? They are the best producer of the talent that we're talking about for growing the future economy of the state of Florida. How can you expect them to be able to do that job on a fraction of the budgets that they deserve to be able to operate? And again, this isn't education for education's sake, right? I believe in education. I believe in our university system. We want the best universities, and we want to be able to produce the talent off of those institutions. And I'm not trying to put them in competition with each other. I think they do wholly different work and produce wholly different results. And the community college system exists for a reason. It is to meet the needs, particularly the workforce needs, of our communities in which they're situated, and largely the state. They do some of the best work, and it is frankly heartbreaking to see the way in which they have been subjugated and relegated to a diminished place in our state. When we win this race, we're going to return them to a place of respect and dignity that they deserve. We're going to treat them with the respect befitting of the incredible role that they play in producing good, strong talent. We're going to fund their budgets. We're going to fund their budgets. And then we're going to have to work. And then we're going to have to work very closely with the administrations to make sure that our administrations have a plan for bringing more full-time tenure of professors onto the faculty. We've got to do that. Because if we can't retain the talent there, then the system will lose all of its credibility. We cannot have a community college system that is staffed only by part-time workers. We can't. Now, they're doing a heck of a job, right? They're working harder than ever. But they deserve better. Our students deserve better. And if you want to know my connection to community colleges, my grandmother went back to Santa Fe Community College in her 60s to get a degree. She became a nurse. She worked at North Florida Regional and in our school system. So we know that these are the institutions that are producing talent. We got to make sure that they're affordable and accessible and well-resourced to help guide, engineer, and fuel Florida's future economy. You will have a seat at my table. As I've always been told, if you are not at the table, it means you're likely on the menu. Well, community colleges are going to be at the table. So I've got one ask, and that is, when they go low, we go vote. this race, I want you to know, myself, my partner in crime, Chris King, his wife Kristen, my wife RJ, we are going to leave it all on the field. We honestly are. We're going everywhere. These last 18 days, look, and for Chris and I, it's been 20 months out here on the trail, dogging it out every single day. We've gone to red areas, to blue areas, to purple areas. I went to Putnam County. I think Trump won Putnam County by 30 points or something. Right? People, what you doing in Putnam County? They're voters in Putnam County. We're going to Putnam County. We went to Flagler County. We went to Flagler County. And at Flagler County, we thought we might get 200 folks there, and there was 600 people flowing out of the back of this auditorium. Same thing over in Putnam. Same thing, y'all, in the villages. Right? In the villages. I'm telling you. The villages. And for y'all who don't know about the villages, it is the most conservative. Charlie knows this. Right? Look, Charlie won the villages before as a Republican, but now he's with us. Charlie is ours, and they ain't got nothing to do with it, right? He's ours. But the governor knows about the villages. It is one of the most conservative areas in the state. And we went there thinking we might be 50 or 100 people, and we got there, and the room was teeming with over 500 retirees. Right? Over 500 retirees. And not another face that looked like mine. And that was okay. We went there to talk about our vision for the future of the state. And when we finished, this elderly white gentleman stood up midway through the room and said, I believe Andrew Gillum ought to be the next governor. And I want to give you, that's what he said. He said, and I want to give you $20 to help you along your way. Now, of course, I was gracious and took the 20, but my thought was, I know you in the villages, I know you got more than $20. I didn't say it, y'all, but I thought it, right? And then he turned to the rest of the room and said, if anybody else believes Gillum ought to be governor, I want you to give him $5, $10, or $20. Well, when we finished this meet and greet turned impromptu fundraiser, we walked out of there raising nearly $6,000 in 5 to 10 minutes. The point being is we can't treat the race for governor as if this is the electoral college. We don't win one county and lose another. We don't pick up one and lose another. The one who wins is going to be the one who gets one more vote. And that vote may come from anywhere throughout the length and the breadth of the state of Florida, so we're going to go there. We're going to leave it all on the field. But guess what, y'all? Chris and I know that we can't do it by ourselves. It is going to take every single one of us organizing, talking to our neighbors, talking to our friends, talking to the cousin we can't stand to talk to politics about, right? Because they always think they're right, they're almost always wrong, right? But you're going to have that debate, that conversation to get them going and to get them out there and to get them voting. If we do that, if we vote, y'all, we win. Right? If our communities vote, we win. Their tactic right now is simply to drive down the vote. The reason why nobody runs for governor running all negative ads. Because the goal is to get people to come and vote for you. Right? You run all negative ads when you want to suppress the vote. When you don't believe that you can win off your merit. When you don't believe you can win off the strength of your ideas. When you don't believe you can win, the truth is you shouldn't win if you ain't got no plan for the state of Florida. Right? You shouldn't win. You shouldn't be competing if we still waiting on your health care proposal for what you're going to do for the state of Florida. Right? You shouldn't. And so, but that's what you get. That is what you get when you don't have a vision, right? And y'all know I'm a believer. I go to church right now. I go to church a lot, right? But without vision, people perish. Right? without vision, without a North Star, without a plan for where you want to take people, right? And I'll tell you this much.